Now, have you ever wondered what really catches a man's attention? What he notices when you think he's not even looking? Women often underestimate how observant men can be. They assume men notice only the obvious things, the way you dress, your makeup, or your smile. But the truth is far deeper, far more intricate. Men notice the subtleties, the tiny details that women often dismiss as inconsequential. And understanding these insights is not just about attraction. It's about awareness, connection, and understanding human behavior at its core. Today, I want to share with you 7 things women often have no idea men notice about them. Insights inspired by psychology, Mel Robbins' principles of human behavior, and real-life observations. If you listen closely, these points just transform the way you see yourself, the way you present yourself, and the way you understand human connections. It's often said that for first impressions matter, but what many women don't realize is that men notice far more than just your outward appearance. They notice the energy you radiate, the way you occupy space, and the subtle cues that signal confidence, self-respect, and composure. Confidence isn't about being loud, boisterous, or the center of attention. It's quieter, subtler, and far more magnetic than most people understand. A man doesn't need you to announce your worth. He instinctively senses it in the way you carry yourself, in the way your body moves through a room, and in the way your presence interacts with the world around you. There is a rhythm to confident movement that communicates far more than words ever could. When a woman walks into a room, men notice the posture she maintains, even before they notice the outfit she's wearing. A slight slump in the shoulders or a hesitant step can give away insecurity, while a straight spine, relaxed shoulders, and a deliberate pace communicate self-assuredness. It's in these small, often unconscious physical cues that men pick up on something deeply attractive. It's not about being physically imposing or dominating. It's about a quiet command over your own presence. A subtle sense that you know who you are and that you are comfortable in your skin. This presence is magnetic because it communicates stability, emotional maturity, and self-awareness. Qualities that are universally appealing. Beyond posture, men notice the way a woman interacts with her environment and the people around her. Confidence is reflected in how she makes eye contact, how she navigates conversations, and how she moves through physical spaces. A confident woman doesn't shrink to avoid being noticed, nor does she overcompensate by trying to dominate. Instead, she moves with a sense of ease and purpose, as if she belongs naturally in every space she enters. This isn't something that can be faked convincingly. Men are attuned to the subtle difference between genuine presence and forced self-importance. They notice when a woman's confidence is authentic versus when it's performative, and authenticity is infinitely more attractive than any facade of perfection. Even the small, seemingly insignificant movements carry weight. The way a woman tilts her head when listening, the way her hands rest naturally at her sides, or the subtle sway of her hips when walking are all noticed, even if unconsciously. Men pick up on rhythm, poise, and grace. Qualities that cannot be in a classroom but are cultivated over time through self-assurance and comfort with one's own body. There is an unspoken language in these movements, a silent communication that conveys strength, femininity, and confidence simultaneously. It's why some women can enter a room wearing a simple outfit yet command attention simply by the way they hold themselves. Men also notice the micro expressions that reveal a woman's inner state. A slight smile, a calm expression in stressful situations, or a relaxed jawline communicates emotional control and confidence. These subtle facial cues signal that a woman is comfortable with herself and capable of handling the world around her. When a man sees this, it sends a powerful message. Here is someone who is not seeking validation, someone who is self-contained, yet open enough to connect meaningfully with others. Confidence that is rooted in self-acceptance is incredibly attractive because it conveys both strength and approachability. The way a woman carries herself also communicates non-verbal boundaries. Men notice whether a woman moves in a way that respects her own space and the space of others. A confident woman doesn't invade space unnecessarily, nor does she appear afraid to assert herself. This balance creates an aura of stability and reliability, signaling that she is someone who knows her worth and expects to be treated accordingly. It's a silent, yet deeply persuasive form of communication that often has a stronger impact than words or gestures. Furthermore, men notice how a woman's energy interacts with theirs. Someone who carries herself with calm assurance exudes an energy that is contagious, drawing others in naturally. It's not about being the loudest or the flashiest. It's about maintaining composure, moving with intention, and expressing authenticity in every action. This energy is magnetic because it signals emotional resilience and a grounded sense of self, traits that men notice instinctively and respect subconsciously. Confidence also manifests in how a woman handles small moments of challenge or discomfort. Even in brief, everyday situations, a tricky conversation, a social awkwardness, or a minor mistake. How a woman carries herself speaks volumes. Men notice the difference between someone who crumbles or apologizes excessively and someone who remains composed, addresses the situation with grace, and moves forward without losing poise. These moments reveal character, and character is far more compelling than outward beauty alone. Finally, the most powerful aspect of carrying yourself with confidence is that it doesn't require validation. Men notice when a woman is comfortable standing alone, when she moves through life without needing constant approval, and when her presence radiates self-assured energy rather than dependence. This independence and self-possession are magnetic because they signal authenticity, strength, and emotional maturity. A woman who carries herself with confidence doesn't just look attractive, she feels magnetic, alive, and inspiring to those around her. In essence, carrying yourself with confidence is about more than posture or appearance. It's a holistic expression of self-awareness, authenticity, and poise. Men notice the energy, the subtle movements, the grace, and the quiet assurance that radiates from a woman who knows her worth. It is in these details, these silent cues, that true attraction is born. The way you carry yourself tells a story long before you speak, and it is one of the most profound ways men notice and remember you. Laughter is one of the most natural and disarming human behaviors, yet it is often underestimated in the realm of attraction. Women tend to assume that men only notice physical attributes or external beauty, but the truth is far deeper. Men are highly attuned to emotional signals, and nothing communicates warmth, authenticity, and connection quite like genuine laughter. It's a subtle, yet powerful way to reveal your personality, your comfort with yourself, and your approach to life. Men notice not just the sound of a laugh, but the energy behind it, the moment it emerges, and the context in which it occurs. A woman who laughs freely communicates far more than any carefully curated appearance ever could. When a woman laughs genuinely, it signals joy that comes from a place of authenticity. This type of laughter is not the forced giggle or the polite chuckle that people use to fill silence or meet social expectations. It is unrestrained, full-bodied, and effortless. Men notice this because it communicates confidence without words. It shows that a woman is comfortable in her own skin, that she can find joy without needing approval, and that she embraces moments of happiness without hesitation. There is an unmistakable magnetic quality to laughter that is free of pretense. It's a beacon that draws attention naturally, almost involuntarily. Even the smallest moments can carry profound significance. The way your eyes crinkle at the corners, the slight tilt of your head, or the sound of breath between words when something genuinely amuses you. Men notice all of this. These micro expressions are subtle cues that reveal your internal state, your emotional openness, and your ability to experience life fully. A real laugh communicates vulnerability, warmth, and relatability. Men are wired to respond to these signals, often without realizing why, because they are witnessing a side of you that is unguarded, genuine, and magnetic. Laughter also communicates resilience. Life is filled with challenges, awkward situations, and moments that could easily bring tension. A woman who can laugh at herself, find humor in minor discomforts, or even diffuse awkwardness with a genuine chuckle sends a signal of emotional strength. Men notice when someone has the ability to embrace imperfection and maintain lightness in their demeanor. This type of laughter isn't just appealing. It's a demonstration of intelligence, emotional balance, and the capacity to handle life's complexities with grace. It suggests that beneath the surface, there is a woman who is self-aware, grounded, and capable of navigating social and emotional landscapes with ease. Humor, joy, and laughter are also deeply connected to social bonding. When a woman laughs genuinely in response to shared experiences or subtle interactions, men notice it because it communicates alignment, understanding, and shared energy. This kind of engagement is far more impactful than appearance alone because it fosters a sense of connection that is intangible yet deeply compelling. It's the spark that turns ordinary moments into memorable ones, the subtle signal that says, I enjoy being here and I am present in this moment. Men are drawn to this energy because it indicates a person who is alive, responsive, and capable of making ordinary interactions feel extraordinary. The way laughter unfolds is equally telling. A woman who laughs in a restrained or calculated way may inadvertently communicate insecurity, self-consciousness, or a desire to control perception. In contrast, authentic laughter flows naturally, often beginning with the eyes, spreading to the mouth, and enveloping the entire presence. Men notice these patterns instinctively. They sense the difference between a laugh that is performed to impress and one that arises from genuine amusement. Authenticity resonates because it signals truth, transparency, and emotional courage, the very qualities that form the foundation of lasting attraction. Even in silence, laughter leaves an imprint. The memory of how a woman's laughter felt, the warmth, the energy, the spontaneity, lingers far longer than any brief visual impression. Men recall it, often unconsciously, and associate it with the feeling of comfort, openness, and magnetic presence. This is why laughter is far more powerful than most women realize. It communicates personality, emotional intelligence, and a zest for life in ways that no outward display of beauty ever could. It is subtle yet unforgettable. Laughter is also a window into compatibility. Men notice how your humor aligns with theirs, how your responses to jokes or playful interactions reflect shared values, wit, and emotional responsiveness. When a woman laughs at the right moment, not just because she feels she should, but because she genuinely connects with the humor, it signals rapport, mutual understanding, and emotional synchronization. These subtle cues tell a man far more about a woman than appearances alone. They reveal her perspective, her joy, her intelligence, and her ability to connect on multiple levels simultaneously. In essence, authentic laughter is a language without words. It communicates emotional depth, resilience, confidence, and genuine presence. Men notice it not just because it is pleasant to hear, but because it reveals the essence of a woman's character, her energy, and her ability to embrace life fully. A real laugh has gravity, it resonates, lingers, and draws others into its orbit. It tells men that here is someone vibrant, alive, and genuinely themselves, qualities that are profoundly attractive and deeply memorable. When a woman allows herself to laugh freely, she is doing more than expressing amusement. She is broadcasting a signal of authenticity, warmth, and emotional intelligence. Men notice it instinctively, and it leaves an indelible mark. Laughter is more than a sound. It is a signature personality, a demonstration of self-assurance, and a doorway to connection. And it is in this authentic joy that women often find their most magnetic and captivating power, completely unaware of the profound impression they leave simply by being genuinely themselves. Men notice the small things. The little habits and quirks that women often dismiss as inconsequential are, in fact, some of the most revealing aspects of personality and character. While women may assume that men focus solely on appearances, the reality is far more nuanced. Men are keen observers of behavior, attuned to the subtleties of movement, expression, and routine. These small habits often communicate more about who you are than any words, outfits, or gestures ever could. The way you handle your hair, the way you interact with objects, the way your eyes shift during a conversation. These tiny details speak volumes about your confidence, mood, and inner life, and men notice them instinctively, often without consciously realizing it. Consider the habit of playing with your hair. It may seem like a meaningless gesture, but it conveys nervousness, excitement, or attraction, depending on context. Men pick up on these cues because they signal emotional states. A woman who twirls her hair absent-mindedly may be expressing anxiety or thoughtfulness, while a subtle, intentional movement might indicate curiosity or interest. These micro behaviors are powerful because they offer a glimpse into your unfiltered emotional world. Men notice them, store them subconsciously, and interpret them in ways that can influence their perception of you long after a brief encounter. Similarly, facial expressions and eye movements convey layers of meaning. The way your eyes light up when you talk about something you love, the fleeting smile that appears at the corner of your mouth, or the way your eyebrows raise slightly when surprised. Men notice these small, involuntary reactions because they reveal authenticity. Unlike words, which can be crafted, rehearsed, or manipulated, these micro expressions are spontaneous and honest. They provide insight into how you experience the world, how you react to situations, and how emotionally open you are. A man may not be able to explain why he is drawn to a particular person, but often it is these subtleties, the brief gestures, the spontaneous smiles that captivate him most. Even habitual gestures, like the way you hold your cup of coffee, shift your weight from one leg to another, or adjust your clothing, communicate personality traits. Are you meticulous, carefree, playful, or introspective? These tendencies are conveyed in the minutiae of behavior, and men subconsciously absorb these signals. A woman who moves with ease and grace, who shows fluidity in her habitual motions, communicates comfort in her own skin and a level of self-possession that is deeply attractive. Conversely, habits that betray insecurity or tension can create a subtle sense of unease. Men notice both, and their attraction often hinges on these finely tuned observations rather than on overt qualities alone. The way a woman gestures when she speaks is another subtle signal men notice. Hand movements, posture adjustments, and small shifts in position during conversation are not random. They communicate emphasis, engagement, and emotional resonance. A woman who leans slightly forward while listening demonstrates attentiveness and interest, while one who maintains relaxed, expressive gestures signals confidence and openness. Men pick up on these nuances instinctively. Even if they are not consciously analyzing behavior, their brains are registering patterns that influence feelings of attraction, trust, and connection. Small habits also include the ways a woman navigates social interactions. How she treats waitstaff, responds to strangers, or reacts in unexpected moments communicates personality in ways that are often overlooked. Men notice patterns of kindness, patience, humor, and assertiveness, recognizing them as indicators of deeper character traits. These subtle signals reveal whether a woman is compassionate, confident, and emotionally intelligent, and they shape perceptions far more effectively than external beauty alone. Men are drawn not just to what they see, but to the energy, intention, and authenticity that shine through habitual behaviors. Even routines that seem private, like how a woman organizes her workspace, handles her belongings, or engages in personal habits, can convey subconscious signals. Men notice consistency, mindfulness, and attentiveness in these small details, even if they are not directly observing them. A person who demonstrates care, self-respect, and thoughtfulness in small, everyday actions communicate stability and reliability. Habits, after all, are the silent language of character, and men notice the unspoken narrative they reveal. Finally, the subtle interplay between habits and emotions creates a compelling rhythm that men notice deeply. The way a woman reacts to playful teasing, the brief moments of nervous fidgeting, the spontaneous gestures of joy or curiosity, all of these habits combine to form a tapestry of behavior that communicates who she is. Men are wired to pick up on these patterns, to interpret them, and to respond emotionally. The small habits that women may overlook are, in fact, powerful signals of attraction, personality, and emotional depth. They create a nuanced, multi-layered impression that no outward appearance or superficial charm could replicate. Ultimately, subtle habits are not just quirks. They are windows into the mind, body, and soul. Men notice them because they reveal authenticity, emotional intelligence, and the unique ways in which a woman experiences and interacts with the world. From small gestures and micro expressions to habitual movements and social behaviors, these details are endlessly informative and magnetically compelling. What may seem insignificant to a woman, twirling her hair, shifting her posture, laughing at herself, is in reality a language that men read instinctively. These habits communicate confidence, openness, resilience, and charm, forming a foundation for attraction that runs far deeper than surface-level appearances. Men notice the subtlety because it is real, unfiltered, and continuous. Unlike makeup, fashion, or even carefully curated conversation, habits cannot be fully controlled, and that is why they are so revealing. They convey authenticity, personality, and emotional intelligence in ways that resonate on a subconscious level, leaving lasting impressions. By understanding that men are attuned to these subtle behaviors, women can begin to appreciate the power of their natural, unspoken expressions and realize that true magnetism often lies in what seems small and effortless. Men notice emotional transparency, even when women think they are being subtle. It's not about oversharing every thought or laying every feeling bare. It's about the quiet signals that reveal a woman's inner life, her honesty, and her ability to navigate emotions with self-respect. Emotional transparency is a reflection of authenticity. When a woman expresses herself genuinely, even in small ways, it communicates strength, courage, and a deep sense of self-awareness. Men notice the tone of her voice, the way her eyes convey feeling, the subtle tension or relaxation in her posture when she speaks. These cues are far more telling than words alone. They show who she truly is beneath the surface. And men are instinctively drawn to that level of honesty because it signals trustworthiness, approachability, and emotional maturity. Strength in emotion is equally magnetic. Men notice how a woman handles moments of challenge, disappointment, or frustration? Do her reactions reveal composure, resilience, and calm confidence, or do they show instability, fear, or excessive vulnerability? A woman who can feel deeply yet remain grounded demonstrates a remarkable balance. This balance is profoundly attractive because it communicates that she is self-sufficient, capable of managing her emotions without relying on constant external validation, and able to maintain healthy boundaries in her interactions. Strength doesn't mean suppressing feelings or pretending to be invincible. It means acknowledging emotions, understanding their origin, and responding with clarity and grace. Men notice this because it signals maturity, reliability, and a character that is emotionally compatible with long-term connection. The subtle ways a woman navigates social interactions also reflect emotional transparency and strength. How she responds to teasing, critique, or minor conflicts reveals her ability to remain composed under pressure. Men notice whether she can express displeasure or disappointment without aggression, whether she can assert her boundaries without guilt, and whether she maintains empathy while holding her ground. These patterns of behavior communicate not only emotional intelligence, but also the ability to sustain meaningful, respectful relationships. Emotional transparency in these moments is not about vulnerability for its own sake. It's about clarity, integrity, and strength that draws people in. Even in moments of joy, laughter, or excitement, men notice the authenticity of a woman's emotions. Genuine delight, curiosity, and enthusiasm signal openness and self-confidence. A woman who allows herself to experience happiness fully, without inhibition, communicates trust in her own feelings and a willingness to engage with life openly. This kind of emotional transparency, experiencing life in its full range without fear or pretense, is magnetic because it demonstrates that she is comfortable with herself and can relate to others on a profound level. Men are drawn not to perfection, but to authenticity. They notice when a woman's emotions are real, sincere, and congruent with her actions. Even subtle nonverbal cues communicate emotional transparency and strength. The way a woman holds her gaze, the tone and cadence of her speech, and the relaxed posture of her body all signal internal alignment. Men notice when these signals indicate honesty and confidence because they are indicators that she is not concealing her true self. A slight hesitation in speech, a reflective pause, or an intentional smile can communicate thoughtfulness, self-awareness, and composure, all of which are more appealing than rehearsed expressions or superficial charm. Men subconsciously register these cues as markers of integrity and emotional stability. Another dimension men notice is consistency in emotional behavior. Habits of emotional transparency and strength are observed over time, not just in isolated moments. A woman who is consistently authentic in her interactions, who expresses herself clearly and maintains composure across different situations, signals reliability and depth of character. Men recognize this consistency as a hallmark of emotional intelligence, which fosters trust and long-term attraction. Emotional honesty combined with strength communicates that she is someone who can navigate the ups and downs of life with grace, making her presence both comforting and captivating. Vulnerability is a critical part of emotional transparency, and men notice it when expressed with balance. A woman who shares a personal story, admits a mistake, or acknowledges a fear demonstrates courage and self-awareness. What makes this attractive is not the act of vulnerability alone, but the strength with which it is expressed. She does not collapse under the weight of her emotions. She stands tall, communicates openly, and engages with the world authentically. This combination of vulnerability and strength is magnetic because it conveys trustworthiness, maturity, and emotional depth that resonates on a subconscious level. Men also notice the subtle influence of emotional transparency on relational dynamics. A woman who can express her needs, articulate her feelings, and listen empathetically signals relational competence. These behaviors show that she values healthy communication, mutual respect, and emotional reciprocity, all qualities that are essential for meaningful connections. Men are attracted to women who can maintain this balance because it suggests emotional stability, clarity of boundaries, and a genuine capacity for intimacy. Emotional transparency, coupled with strength, communicates that she is not only self-aware, but capable of fostering deep, authentic bonds. In essence, emotional transparency and strength are not about the volume of expression, but the quality and authenticity of it. Men notice the subtle cues, micro-expressions, and behavioral patterns that reveal a woman's inner world. They are drawn to women who can express emotions honestly while maintaining composure, because this combination signals maturity, stability, and authenticity. The ability to navigate emotions thoughtfully, communicate openly, and remain resilient under pressure creates a magnetic presence that is deeply attractive. It is in these subtle, often overlooked signals that men perceive depth, strength, and character, qualities far more compelling than outward beauty.